Did you know that in 2025, nearly 7 out of 10 families in the UK say they feel more stressed about daily life than ever before? Bills keep climbing, groceries are eating away at savings, and free family time feels like a luxury. Many parents quietly ask themselves, are we really living or just surviving? It's a question most households avoid talking about, yet it lingers in the background of every dinner table conversation. Behind the picture-perfect social media posts, the reality is far more draining. Late nights, endless scrolling, and constant pressure. But here's the twist. What if the real struggle isn't just money, but time, health, and connection slipping through our fingers every single day? Number 1. The hidden cost of living. When people talk about the rising cost of living in the UK, it often sounds like a list of numbers. Higher rent, bigger energy bills, groceries that somehow cost more every single week. But behind those numbers are real human struggles that silently shape daily family life. Picture this. A parent comes home late after working extra hours just to cover the increased utility bills, only to find the family already finished dinner without them. That one missed meal might not seem like much, but over time, it erodes the small rituals that hold families together. Leisure activities, once a way to recharge, now feel like an unaffordable luxury. Weekend trips replaced by staying indoors, family movie nights swapped out for quiet evenings worrying over bank statements. This constant financial pressure doesn't just empty wallets, it drains mental energy, making even simple decisions feel heavier. Research shows that financial stress doesn't stay at home. It follows people into the workplace, reducing concentration, productivity, and even creativity. A mind preoccupied with how to stretch the paycheck struggles to focus on tasks, leading to mistakes, delays, and a cycle of exhaustion. But here's the overlooked truth. It isn't just money that needs to be budgeted, it's time. Families often think about cutting expenses but rarely think about protecting their hours with the same discipline. Imagine creating a weekly family time budget, the way you track spending. Blocking out evenings for shared meals, scheduling a set time for meal prepping so dinners aren't rushed, or even carving out fixed hours for rest that no extra work is allowed to touch. Just like financial planning creates stability, time planning builds emotional stability. It helps families reclaim control in an environment where everything else feels unstable. The hidden cost of living in 2025 isn't just financial. It's the way money problems quietly eat away at family bonds, personal peace, and mental clarity. And unless families consciously guard their time as carefully as they guard their bank balance, the struggle only deepens. By treating time as the most precious currency, families can begin to rebuild a sense of normalcy even when the economic climate refuses to cooperate. Number 2. Social media versus family bonds. It's a scene many families know too well. The TV is on, dinner plates sit half-finished, and instead of talking, everyone's eyes are locked on glowing screens. Parents scroll through endless news updates or social feeds, while children quietly tap away at games or videos. At first glance, it looks like relaxation, but the silence tells another story, a house full of people yet no real connection. Studies have repeatedly shown that excessive screen time doesn't just steal hours. It increases stress levels, disrupts sleep quality, and even reduces empathy within families. The constant flood of notifications tricks the brain into staying on high alert, preventing the mind from winding down. This means even after scrolling for an hour, parents feel restless rather than refreshed, and children go to bed overstimulated instead of calm. Over time, this digital distraction creates invisible walls between family members. Meals become quicker, conversations become fewer, and the sense of closeness slowly fades. But the solution isn't to completely ban technology. It's about setting healthy boundaries. One effective practice is introducing digital sunset hours, a family-wide rule where all devices are switched off after 9 p.m. Replacing those late-night scrolling sessions with simple, grounding rituals makes a powerful difference. Imagine a family gathering for a cup of soothing herbal tea, taking a short evening walk, or playing a light-hearted board game before bed. These small habits bring back laughter, eye contact, and shared moments that screens often steal away. In a world where technology keeps us constantly connected to strangers, it has ironically made us more disconnected from the people sitting right beside us. By taking back control of evening hours, families can transform their homes into spaces of calm, conversation, and genuine connection. Number 3. Health and natural remedies. Stress doesn't just live in the mind, it makes its presence known in the body. Families across the UK are experiencing it in very physical ways. poor digestion after rushed meals, constant headaches from long hours of worry, and an overall sense of low energy that no amount of coffee seems to fix. The problem is that many people push through these signals, assuming fatigue or stomach discomfort is just part of normal life. But research shows that chronic stress alters hormone levels, weakens immunity, and disrupts sleep cycles, leaving the body in a constant state of imbalance. One overlooked but powerful way to counter this is through natural remedies that support the nervous system. Studies highlight that magnesium-rich foods, like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, help calm the body and reduce tension. Similarly, simple rituals like pausing for mindful breathing during the day can lower cortisol levels and improve focus. Perhaps the most practical change lies in what we drink, swapping out the endless cycle of caffeine, especially late in the day, for calming herbal teas such as chamomile or lemon balm. These natural options gently signal the body to wind down, improving sleep quality and allowing mornings to start with clarity instead of grogginess. Even families who can't change their workload or financial pressures can reclaim small pieces of health by building these habits into their evenings. Imagine replacing that third cup of coffee with a warm mug of herbal tea while sharing a quiet moment with loved ones. It's a simple step that restores calm and helps the body heal from daily strain. Over time, these subtle shifts compound, transforming stress into resilience and giving families the energy they need to face tomorrow with more strength. Number 4. Time management for families. For many families in the UK, time feels like the scarcest resource of all. The day often begins with a frantic rush, packing school lunches, battling traffic, catching trains, or squeezing into crowded buses. By the time parents return from long work hours, they are drained, and what's left of the evening is spent juggling school runs, cooking, and last-minute tasks. This invisible tax on time leaves little room for real rest or meaningful connection. Research shows that even as little as 15 minutes of intentional micro-rest, whether it's quiet breathing, a short walk, or stretching, can significantly boost productivity and reduce stress. Yet most families overlook these tiny opportunities, believing rest must mean long breaks or holidays. In reality, the key lies in reclaiming daily time with discipline. One powerful method is the protected hour rule, reserving 1 hour each day exclusively for family bonding or personal self-care, completely free from work or screens. This could mean sitting down for a distraction-free dinner, enjoying a bedtime story with children, or simply taking a solo hour to unwind with tea or light reading. When practiced consistently, this protected hour acts like an anchor in the chaos of daily life, reminding families that time is not only about tasks, it's also about presence. The benefit goes beyond relaxation. It creates stability, improves focus the next day, and strengthens family bonds that often get pushed aside in the race to keep up with demands. By consciously carving out this hour, families begin to shift from survival mode to a rhythm that feels more human, restoring balance in a world that constantly tries to pull their time in every direction. Number 5. Community and connections. One of the most overlooked struggles families face in the UK today is the quiet weight of loneliness. It's a paradox. Millions live in crowded cities, surrounded by people on trains, in offices, and in busy neighborhoods, yet many still feel isolated. The fast pace of urban life, combined with long working hours and digital distractions, leaves little room for genuine connection. Families often find themselves cut off from extended relatives, neighbors they barely know, or community groups they never had the time to join. Research consistently shows that strong social ties not only reduce anxiety but also improve overall life satisfaction and even physical health. The absence of these bonds can create a silent stress, leaving families to cope with struggles on their own. But community doesn't have to mean massive social commitments. It can grow from simple, low-cost activities that naturally bring people together. Joining a local walking club, for instance, blends exercise with casual conversation, providing both physical and emotional benefits. Volunteering even a few hours a month fosters a sense of purpose and shared belonging that money cannot buy. Shared gardening projects are another way families can connect, especially in neighborhoods with limited green space, turning patches of land into shared havens where friendships sprout alongside vegetables. These small but consistent interactions help restore the feeling of being part of something larger, reminding families that they are not alone in their struggles. In a time where life feels increasingly fragmented, choosing connection becomes a quiet act of resilience, strengthening both individual well-being and the collective fabric of daily life. Number 6. Education pressure on parents and kids. Education has long been seen as the golden ticket to a better future, but for many families in the UK, it has become one of the heaviest burdens. Rising school fees, the hidden costs of uniforms and supplies, and the growing reliance on private tutoring place enormous financial strain on parents. Many find themselves working overtime or cutting back on personal needs just to keep up, while children shoulder the emotional weight of constant academic pressure. The competitive nature of modern schooling means that kids are often measured not just against classmates but against impossible expectations set by society and social media. This creates a cycle of stress. Parents worry about providing enough, while children feel they are never doing enough. The emotional toll shows up in subtle but telling ways. Family conversations dominated by grades, children feeling guilty about asking for leisure time, and parents silently battling exhaustion while trying to encourage their kids. Research has shown that chronic educational stress can hinder creativity, damage confidence, and even reduce long-term learning retention. That's why it's vital to create what could be called study wellness routines, balanced approaches that support both academic growth and emotional well-being. Simple changes like enforcing short screen breaks during homework, scheduling evening walks to clear the mind, or practicing calming exercises before bed can dramatically reduce tension. These rituals help children see education not as a relentless race but as part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. For parents, it eases the guilt and fear of not doing enough by shifting the focus from constant pressure to long-term growth. In the end, supporting education should mean nurturing both the mind and the spirit, ensuring that learning builds stronger, healthier families rather than breaking them down. Number 7. The silent strain. For adults between the ages of 35 and 65, life often looks steady from the outside. Jobs are stable, families are growing, and responsibilities are being met. Yet beneath this surface, many silently carry a heavy strain. Anxiety that keeps them awake at night, sleep disorders that leave mornings foggy, or burnout that builds from years of pushing without pause. Unlike visible illnesses, these struggles rarely show up in public conversations, leaving individuals to cope alone. Research reveals that chronic stress doesn't just impact the mind. It weakens the immune system, speeds up the aging process, and increases the risk of long-term health problems such as heart disease. Despite knowing the risks, most people keep powering through, convincing themselves that stress is just part of life. The reality is that ignoring these signals only deepens the damage. Small but intentional changes can make a profound difference. Short daily mindfulness practices, like 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed, help lower stress hormones and prepare the body for restful sleep. Natural remedies also play a quiet but powerful role. Lavender oil diffused in the bedroom has been shown to promote relaxation, while magnesium baths ease muscle tension and calm the nervous system. These simple rituals act as a reset button, offering the body and mind a chance to recover. The key is consistency, not perfection. When practiced daily, even in short bursts, these habits slowly chip away at the invisible walls of stress, bringing more clarity, energy, and peace into everyday life. For many adults, acknowledging and addressing this silent strain is the first real step toward reclaiming their health and resilience in an increasingly demanding world. Number 8. Work-life imbalance. In today's UK workforce, the culture of constant overtime has become so normal that many hardly question it anymore. Staying late at the office or bringing work home is often seen as dedication, but for families, it comes at a high cost. Lost connection, constant fatigue, and the feeling that life is an endless cycle of obligations. Picture a parent who rushes from the office straight into the kitchen, preparing dinner while answering emails on their phone, only to collapse into bed with no true rest. These patterns don't just affect the individual. They ripple through the entire household, leaving children craving attention and partners struggling to keep communication alive. Research has shown that blurred boundaries between work and home life significantly increase the risk of burnout, irritability, and even depression. The problem isn't only the hours spent working, but the inability to mentally switch off, leaving no room for families to recharge together. One effective solution is what can be called the boundary setting method. This involves drawing clear lines between work time and family time, using tools like calendar alerts to signal the end of the workday or involving an accountability partner who helps reinforce those limits. It could mean physically shutting down the laptop at 7 p.m., creating a rule of no emails after dinner, or designating weekends as screen-free zones for work devices. At first, these boundaries may feel uncomfortable, especially in workplaces that glorify overcommitment. But over time, they help families reclaim a rhythm where evenings belong to conversation, laughter, and rest rather than endless tasks. By practicing these boundaries consistently, Parents not only preserve their own health but also model balance for their children, teaching that true success is not measured by hours worked, but by the quality of life shared together. Number 9. Space constraints. For many families across the UK, the challenge of housing has moved far beyond affordability. It has become a matter of space, or rather, the lack of it. Families are increasingly squeezed into smaller flats or shared houses, often with limited or no access to outdoor areas. In cities where every square foot comes at a premium, parents and children alike find themselves struggling to carve out moments of privacy or peace. The result is a constant undercurrent of stress. Studies have shown that when people lack personal space, irritability rises, focus declines, and family tensions escalate. Children may bicker more often, adults may feel more easily overwhelmed, and the home, ideally a sanctuary, can start to feel like another source of pressure. The absence of outdoor access compounds the problem, especially when families must spend long hours indoors due to work-from-home setups, schoolwork, or financial constraints that limit outings. While it may not be possible to magically expand square footage, there are creative ways to reclaim a sense of spaciousness and calm. One powerful approach is the creation of mini wellness corners within the home. These don't require large rooms or expensive renovations, just thoughtful use of small spaces. It could be as simple as placing a comfortable chair by a window to soak in natural light, setting up a meditation mat in a quiet corner, or turning a balcony into a tiny garden where herbs and flowers provide both beauty and stress relief. These corners act as personal retreats, signaling to the brain that this is a space for calm and restoration. Families can take this further by rotating the use of these corners, giving each member dedicated time to enjoy the space without interruption. Even small rituals, like starting the day with a cup of tea in that designated spot, or ending the evening with 5 minutes of deep breathing there, can restore balance and reduce the tension caused by cramped living. Over time, these microspaces help shift the atmosphere of the home from crowded and chaotic to intentional and nurturing. While housing constraints may not ease anytime soon, families can learn to design their environments in ways that protect mental well-being and strengthen bonds, turning limited space into a source of comfort rather than conflict. Before you go, I'd love to hear your voice. Tell me in the comments, which struggle feels the most real for your family right now? Your stories might just help someone else watching. And if this video opened your eyes, don't miss my previous one. It dives even deeper into everyday survival strategies. We put a lot of effort into creating these for you, so please support us. Hit subscribe, it's just one click, but it means the world to us.